What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR network today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about the price action here. So looking at this thing, we're at about half a cent now. Starting the new week out, we got 6 days, 23 hours left. We're about 2 hours into the new day now. Looking at our weekly RSI, we do have lower lows in the RSI, relatively speaking here, while maintaining higher lows in the price. That's nice to see. Hidden bullish divergence on any time frame is welcome, but on the weekly time frame, that's especially good. That does tend to indicate that we're going to go higher and see some phenomenal growth, right? If we look at this thing from a relative high to low here on this, I'm going to pronounce it a little bit more. Let's see if we can get it to look more like a double bottom here, right? Something like this. You got your W there, right? Adam and Eve pattern right there, perfect. If we take a high to low fib from a high to a low there, and we look at where we are now, ran all the way up to your 1886, just below it, whatever. Found some resistance there. Came all the way back down to your 886, just below it, whatever. And then you came back up, you're consolidating between your 1618 and your 1414 now. Whenever you break out, the next target area will be at a minimum, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. The minimum target is 1.422 cents. That's the absolute minimum target you could have. And I don't think that you stop there. I definitely think you go above it. But that minimum target is about 200% away from here. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but by the way of the fibs, statistically speaking, at least from what it looks like to me, it looks like you are safe to assume that this thing will be worth about 1.5 cents likely, okay, at a minimum. From there, the next fib target would be at 2.2 cents, and that's more of about a 4.5x. I accept this more of a minimum target because I don't think you'll stop here, but it's completely possible, right? I don't think a move like this with a bottom like that, I don't think that you stop there, but it's possible. I don't even think you stop here. Truthfully, I think that you will continue to climb until you hit the 2886-3113 area, and that is something of around 3.3 cents to 4.45 cents. That is something that's about 6.5x from here to about a 9x from here. And the reason why I think you're going to go there, the reason why that makes the most sense to me is because you have the double bottom, you're having a very nice explosive move right now, and that takes you all the way right up to your previous topping area here. Prior areas of resistance becoming current areas of resistance. If you stopped at the 2272, it might make the most sense because you have resistance here and support there, right? Other than that, there's really no other stopping points, right? Even though you have the 2618 here, there's no real stopping points until about 3.3 cents there or higher. So being at half a cent now, my expectation would be that you probably go to about 3.3 to 4.4 cents. This isn't my maximum expectation. This is my expectation. Again, this is the minimum by the fibs. But what I accept as a minimum, truthfully, is about 2.2, about 2.3 cents, something right there at the 2618. I can accept that as a minimum. But even then, it doesn't make as much sense to me as this. The maximum then would be the next target up, which is at about 8 cents, 8.8 cents to 11.1 cents, something like that. You could see this. I don't think it's going to happen, right? Same thing as I don't think that you're going to stop here, but I accept it as a possibility. I don't think that you reach this by the end of this move. I think inevitably you will. You'll see higher targets than that. We can talk about that too in this video, where I believe that you'll go by the end of the cycle. But I don't think that you see this by the end of March, by the end of April, by the end of this move, right? Or I mean, maybe by the end of April, but certainly not by the end of this next phase up, which I think takes place, going into the end of this month of February and carrying itself out through most of March. We might lag the beginning of March. The first week might be a little bit of a downer, but I think that we are going to come back. I think it's going to be pretty damn good going into the end of March. But we'll see. Maybe March is just a party throughout the whole thing. Maybe it is for some, and maybe it isn't for others. If we take a high to low here on this fib, high to low, and we can see we're at the golden ratio, finding resistance at the golden ratio, pulling back to the 382, very common to do. When you go up, you look for the 786 to 886. That is at about 1.9 cents to 3 cents itself. So something similar to the area that we were just discussing, but a little bit lower. Oftentimes, you would expect to find resistance here, so it's something to consider, but sometimes you do go just above the 886 and you find resistance between the 886 and the 100 area. So kind of influencing. I suppose by this look, it's less likely that we go up to about 5 cents, up to about 3 cents. It's kind of less likely, or I should say 3 cents is a more likely stopping point than 5 cents would be. But I do think that at least 1.9 cents by this look at least would be a good minimum to have, right? Something in this area, something that's definitely at the next phase up here. And I definitely believe that you get there, right? The weekly RSI, lower lows, higher lows in the price, looks good to me. Whenever you did back test, whenever you fell here and you dropped however much, that was a huge drop. You found support right there. You back tested your prior areas of resistance here and a little bit of support right there. Kind of turbulent, not too much resistance here just below that area, but still back testing a relative area of resistance for support. Always a good thing, okay? Always a good thing. Also on the fibs, did you back test that for support? No, I mean, you just closed at the 382, which is good as well. Looking at the 3-day time frame here, you are I think you're in a nice posturing to get into the overbought zone. Nice, dominant, established uptrend here, higher lows, higher highs, and then your blemishes come to the upside where you get into the overbought zone. It looks to me, and I'm not saying that it has to happen because it's like this, right? But if we go here, from the time that you got out of the overbought zone to the time you got in, that was about an 11 bar period. 11 bars times 3, that was a 30. It's about a month-long period. From here to where we are now, we're about 9 bars in. So within the next week or so, we might be seeing things getting a little bit exciting for XPR. Not saying that it has to happen that way. Maybe it's in the next 3 days. Maybe it's in the next 6 days. Maybe it's in 2 weeks from now. I don't know how it's going to be, but soon, at least soon enough, I would assume that we are going to see this overbought zone. And whenever you get into the overbought zone, just like you did here, you see some explosive moves. When you get overbought zone again in a short amount of time, you see even more explosive moves. My theory would be if we get into the overbought zone between the end of this month of February to the first week of March, if we can get into the overbought zone on the 3-day time frame, we will likely see an even more explosive move than what we just saw there, right? Let's see what that was from just for context. From a low to a high, not from the absolute low, but just the low of the move, right? I would measure this move here. I wouldn't go back to this low, right? So from the low to the high, measuring the breakout point again, right? I measured this move from here. I didn't measure it from the low, so we're going to measure to the breakout point. Let's assume that we broke out here, something like that, right? It didn't start from the low, but we broke out here. That'd be good for a move up to about 3.1 cents. There are several different ways on the fibs that we've made sense out of that move, and just calling for a move or that price area, calling for a move that likely would not just be similar but something bigger. That makes sense to me because I really do think that you will go above 4 cents. And if you see something bigger than this, that would imply that you see something above 3.1 cents. There are targets at that 4 to 5 cent area. And I think that's where you're going to go. But we'll see. You know, maybe you don't go as high as 5 cents, but something around 4 cents is more of what I would expect to happen. At least I think that the smallest that we had was about 1.7 cents, if not 1.9 cents. But again, I'd be surprised if you stopped that low. I really do think that this next move up will be stronger, if not just as strong as this move. And something like that, to that magnitude, it would take you anywhere from probably 5 to 4 cents, if not at least 3.1 cents, right? Something like that. So that's the expectation. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, you look like you want to go down. Yeah, rejected your overbought zone here, rejecting it. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, not getting overbought, getting oversold, right? Went from bearish to more bullish. You've got the higher lows, you've got the higher highs. Finding resistance at the overbought zone, though, if you get oversold, that could imply a different kind of trend taking place. The price could go lower than this low, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it does. I really don't think that it does. I don't think that you're going to get oversold here. Hopefully you can find support at the 40, and if you do, I think a 40 area bounce on the RSI would actually look really nice, because if you did that, right, we keep this line kind of going in that same trajectory. You bounce right off that line, right at the 40. It's good to bounce off the 40 most of the time. It can be a really good thing, guys. And that likely would take place. I would think that would imply that today, maybe even going into tomorrow, could be red. And then tomorrow, if not Wednesday, we'd start to move up again, going into the end of this week, ending the month, breaking out, seeing higher targets. I would expect by the end of the month, you are very near, if not above these highs, right? You're either at 7 cents to 8 cents or you're above there, okay? That's what I would expect to happen by the end of the month. Because you're at the point where you're about to break out of this, you guys. I really do think that. From a low here to a high there. Golden ratio, yeah, you might just drop a little bit more. You don't even have to go that much lower. But at the lowest, I think you go to about 0.00437. That would be the lowest I think you go, but probably you hold 0.0045. You probably do. If not, you might hold 0.0048. I would think you go lower, but you could hold support right around these areas. You could. Yeah, absolutely, you could. Hard to say, but I think you go lower. I think you probably go to about 0.00437 to 0.0045, somewhere in that area, over the next day, by the end of today, right, which is it's Monday, it's the first day, it's the 24th, right? By the end of today, if not sometime in Tuesday, we'd find our low. And then Tuesday, end of Tuesday, going into Wednesday, if not Wednesday itself, we'd start building our way out for the rest of the week, end of the month, going into March. with a little bit of a fire in us there. You really could find support right here, man. I don't know if you do. I'm skeptical. I think you go lower. You would have to find support right here. If not, likely, yeah, you do go to that 4.5 cent area, or 0.00453 to 0.00437, something like that. I got nothing else for you guys. I'm just rambling at this point. I think I'm saying the same things over and over again. So hit the like button, subscribe if you want to. You're about to break out of this very bullish consolidation phase here. Is it a pennant, a symmetrical triangle, whatever? Pennants are symmetrical triangles, I guess. Maybe not with this blemish, but you are about to break out of this. It's just a matter of time. Probably not today. Probably not tomorrow. I would think if it happened tomorrow, as in Tuesday, it'd be later in the day toward the close. Likely it's going to happen Wednesday, and then going into the end of the week, I think we'll be breaking out again 7 cents, 8 cents, if not higher, by the end of the week, by the end of February, and then by the end of this move going into March. We're looking for things likely above 2 cents. If not, I mean, I think that you're going to probably stop around 4 to 5 cents, somewhere in that area. But time will tell. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye.